Hello students, this is grade 10 physics class, chapter 12, electricity. In last video class we have seen the formula for calculating the electrical energy and then the commercial unit of electrical energy. Am I right? Yes. In this session we are going to start a next topic as well as last topic in this chapter 12, electricity. Okay students? Yes. Are you happy now? Okay. Because within this session we are going to complete this entire lesson. Is it clear? Yes. So, in this session we are going to start a new topic, next topic. Okay, yes. So, in order to start our next topic, we must recall what are the things we have seen in previous video class. Is it clear? Yes. So, actually we have seen the formula for calculating the electrical energy and then the commercial unit of electrical energy. Isn't it? Yes. So, what is the formula for calculating electrical energy, sir? What is the formula? So, already we know, look at here, already we know the electric power which is equal to work done divided by time taken, isn't it? Yes. So whenever the work is done, equal amount of electrical energy is consumed, so work done which is equal to energy consumption. So we can write this formula, electric power which is equal to, what is that? Energy consumption divided by time taken. So we need only this energy value. So energy which is equal to, what is that? Electric power into time. What is that? Electric power into time. So if you multiply the power rating of the electrical appliances and how long it is used, which means time, if you multiply both, we can get how much amount of electrical energy which is consumed by an electrical appliances. Is that clear, students? Yes. So energy which is equal to, what is that? Power into time. This is very important formula, students. Okay? Yes. So already we know the SI unit of electric energy is joule, that is equal to the electric SI unit of power, that is watt, into SI unit of time, seconds. So we can get 1 joule which is equal to, what is that? 1 watt into 1 second. So 1 joule which is equal to 1 watt into 1 second, isn't it? Yes. Look at here. Here 1 watt is a very smallest unit, as well as 1 second also is very smallest unit of time taken. So all the time we cannot use this formula to calculate the electrical energy, isn't it? Because most of the electrical appliances having the power rating is like 100 watt, 200 watt, 1000 watt, 2000 watt and 3000 watt and so on. Here 1 watt is a very smallest unit, isn't it? So as well as here the time value is 1 second. Okay, SI unit of time is 1 second, but the most of the electrical appliances functioning in the time of hours, so more 3 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours, more than 10 hours, even sometimes in industries, the most of the machineries functioning throughout the day, more than 20 hours and 24 hours like that, isn't it? So here the 1 watt and 1 second is a very smallest unit, so commercially we cannot use this formula. So we need alternative formula to calculate the electrical energy. So that formula is kilowatt hour. What is that? That formula is kilowatt hour, isn't it? Yes. So what is kilowatt hour, sir? What is kilowatt hour? So when, note this point. So when an electrical appliance is having the power rating of 1 kilowatt hour and it is used for 1 hour, it will consume the electrical energy at the amount of 1 kilowatt hour. Okay, how much? 1 kilowatt hour. That's all, students. So whenever an electrical appliance is having the power rating of 1 kilowatt hour and it is used for 1 hour, it will consume the electrical energy in the amount of 1 kilowatt hour. That's all. That's all, very easy one. So here 1 kilowatt is a very bigger unit compared than watt, as well as 1 hour is a bigger unit compared than seconds. So that is the reason why the commercial unit of electrical energy is 1 kilowatt hour. 1 kilowatt hour. Okay sir, 1 kilowatt hour, okay sir. So 1 kilowatt hour which is equal to how much amount of electrical energy in joules, because electrical energy SI unit is joule. Okay, yes. So 1 kilowatt hour which is equal to how much amount of electrical energy in joules. So here 1 kilowatt hour which is equal to 3.6 into 10th power of 6 joules amount of electrical energy. How much, sir? 1 kilowatt hour which is equal to 3.6 into 10th power of 6 joules amount of electrical energy. So whenever an electrical appliance is consumed 1 kilowatt or amount of electrical energy, it will consume the same amount of electrical energy in joules, which is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power of 6. That's all. That's all, students. Very easy one. Okay, yes. So till now we have seen up to this topic, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so let's move on next topic as well as the last topic in this chapter 12, electricity, isn't it? Yes. So let's get started the new topic. Okay, yes. Have you ever observed, look at here, have you ever observed your laptop charger and mobile charger heated up while charging? I'll repeat the question. Look at here. Have you ever observed or experienced your laptop charger and mobile charger getting heated up while charging? Yes, of course. Yes, of course we have experienced like that. We have experience like that, isn't it? Yes. Not only the laptop charger and mobile chargers are getting heated up while charging, most of the electrical appliances such as the electric fan, electric bulb, refrigerator, air conditioner and so on, these all electrical appliances heated up, note this point, heated up while functioning, which means while running. Am I right or wrong? Yes, of course that is true. For example, switch on the fan. Switch on the fan, what will happen? The fan, when we switch on the fan will start rotate, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so after few minutes, which means after 5 minutes, switch off the fan and touch the fan, what will happen? Touch the fan, what will happen? There will be slightly warm on the fan. There will be slightly warm, which means there will be some amount of heat on the fan, isn't it? Yes. Is it clear? For example, again if you have doubt, switch on the light. Switch on the light, what will happen? When we switch on the light will start glow, isn't it? Yes. So let it be for a few minutes, 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, switch off the bulb and touch the bulb and touch the surface of the bulb. What will happen? There will be some amount of heat. There will be some amount of heat, isn't it? Yes. So all electrical appliances produces heat while functioning, while running. Am I right or wrong? Yes, that is exactly true. That is exactly true, isn't it? So in this session, note this point, in this session we are going to see the heating effect of electric current. What is that? Heating effect of electric current. Okay, yes. So next topic is heating effect of electric current, or generally we say current. So next topic as well as last topic in this chapter 12, electricity, that is heating effect of electric current. Is that clear, students? Yes, very easy one. Look at here. Already we know energy neither be created nor destroyed. Just we can convert one form of energy into other form of energy. So these all electrical appliances functioning because of only electrical energy, isn't it? Yes. The all electrical appliances consumes the electrical energy and convert this electrical energy into different kinds of energy. What is that? Different kinds of energy. Is that clear, students? Yes. For example, when we switch on the electric bulb, what will happen? The electric bulb consumes the electrical energy and converts the electrical energy into heat energy as in the form of light energy. As in the form of light energy, isn't it? Yes. So when we switch on the electric fan, what will happen? The electric fan will consume the electrical energy and start rotating, which means this electrical energy the electric fan consumes the electrical energy and convert this into mechanical energy. What energy? Mechanical energy. So energy neither be created nor destroyed. We can convert one form of energy into other form of energy, isn't it? So here also, note this point, here electrical energy gets converted into heat energy. So we are going to discuss that topic so in the content of heating effect of electric current. Heating effect of electric current, isn't it? Yes. What causes heat? The current causes heat. So due to this current produced by an electrical appliances, every day we use some electrical appliances. For example, every day we ironing our clothes. We ironing our clothes. Am I right? Yes. So here the iron box getting heated up. Am I right? Yes. What causes this heat? What causes heat? Electric current causes heat. This electric ion consumes the electrical energy and converts this electrical energy into heat energy. Due to this heat produced by the electric ion, we can ironing our dress materials. Is it clear? Yes. Even the water heater also produces heat when the electrical energy is consumed by it. Am I right? Yes, so the water heater consumes the electrical energy and converts this electrical energy into heat energy. So with help of this heat energy produced by the water heater, we can make hot water. Am I right? Yes, of course we can make hot water. For example, nowadays winter season going to start, so most of the people going to take a bath only in hot water. So that electric water heater also produces heat because of only the electrical energy. Am I right? Because of only the electrical energy, isn't it? So in this session we are going to discuss very elaborately what causes heat and how does the heat is producing, then what are the quantities which causes the current, and so many things. Is it clear, students? It's very easy one. Okay, yes, look at here. So our forefathers used the electric iron. Sorry, Tamil you say that is istri petti. Istri, iron பண்றதுக்கு யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்களே istri. Okay, that is not iron box, but istri petti. Our forefathers used istri for ironing our clothes. But nowadays we use electric iron for ironing our clothes, isn't it? Yes. So this electric iron functioning because of only electrical energy, which means current, isn't it? Why? You know this point, very important question. Why the electric iron produces heat? Why the electric iron produces heat? Actually the electric iron only consumes the electrical energy. Then why there is unnecessary heat? Why there is unnecessary amount of heat energy? Who makes that? You or me? No. Who makes that? Look at here. Next example. Come to next example. Our forefathers used, note this point. Our forefathers used burning of wood to make hot water. Am I right? Yes. But nowadays we use electric water heater to make hot water. Am I right or wrong? Yes, of course that is right. Yes. So this electric water heater functioning because of electrical energy. Am I right? Functioning because of electrical energy. Yes. So this electrical water heater consumes the electrical energy. Then why there is unnecessary amount of heat energy? What happens there? Who makes this heat? You or me? Who's that? That is very big question. Isn't it? So look at here. So most of the electrical appliances functioning because of electrical current, which means electrical energy. Then why a few electrical appliances only produces more amount of heat? Actually, what's happening there? Who produces heat? That is very big question. That is a very important question. Is that clear? That is very important question that we are going to discuss in the topic of heating effect of electric current. Heating effect of electric current. Is that clear, students? Very easy, students. Very easy one. Okay, yes, come to the concept here. So already we know energy neither be created nor destroyed. Just we can convert this one form of electrical energy into other form of electrical energy. Okay, so most of the electrical appliances functioning because of only electrical energy. The all electrical appliances consumes the electrical energy and convert this electrical energy into heat energy. Isn't it? Yes. Look at here. Not all the electrical appliances not all electrical appliances produces more amount of heat. Some electrical appliances only produces more amount of heat, such as electric iron, electric toaster, microwave oven, water heater and room heater and so many things. Isn't it? Whereas most of the electrical appliances, they do not produce more amount of heat. For example, the fan also consumes the electrical energy, but the fan will produce very small amount of heat energy. Very small amount of heat energy. Am I right? Yes, the refrigerator also functioning because of electrical energy. The refrigerator produces very less amount of heat energy. Isn't it? Yes, even air conditioner, this which means AC. The AC also functioning because of electrical energy. Am I right? The AC consumes the electrical energy that also produces very less amount of heat energy. So the all electrical appliances do not produce more amount of heat energy. Few electrical appliances only produces more amount of heat energy. We can use this heat energy produced by the electrical appliances in different ways. Okay, now we are going to see that. Is that clear? That's all. Very easy one. Okay, yes. Look at here. So why, sir? Why there is heat energy, sir? What causes this heat energy, sir? What causes this heat energy? That is a very big question. Isn't clear? Okay, for example, consider an electric circuit. Consider an electric circuit. We have connected, note this point, we have connected water heater along with the two terminals of the battery. What is that? Water heater, plus minus. Okay, we apply a 220 volt potential difference. What is that? 220 volt potential difference, isn't it? Yes. Look at here, consider an electric circuit. So we have connected the water heater along with the two terminals of the battery. We apply 220 volt potential difference. How much? 220 volt potential difference, isn't it? Yes. So due to this potential difference, there will be some amount of current. Is that clear? Yes. Look at here. Here this water heater consumes the electrical energy and convert this electrical energy into heat energy. Am I right? Convert this electrical energy into heat energy. Am I right or wrong? Yes, of course, this water heater consumes the electrical energy, converts this electrical energy into heat energy. Am I right? Yes. Sir, why, sir? Why there is heat energy, sir? What causes this heat energy, sir? Okay, the current causes heat energy. Actually, what's happening there, sir? So what happens inside it? What happening inside the water heater? That is very big question. Okay, so what causes heat? Okay, now we are going to see what causes heat, isn't it? Yes, look at here. Let's start with an example. So when we rub our hands together, what will happen? Now this point. So when we rub our hands together, what will happen? There will be some amount of heat. Am I right? If you have doubts, so make it like that. So when we rub our hands together, there will be some amount of heat. Here heat is produced because of what? Friction. Okay, here heat is produced because of friction. So when two or more things rubbing together, there will be some amount of heat energy. Okay, keep this concept in your mind. The same concept you are going to put in terms of conductor. What is that? In terms of conductor, isn't it? Let's look at here. Consider the conductor. For example, the nichrome wire or copper wire. First you take copper wire. Consider the conductor. I have taken copper wire, isn't it? Yes. Connect the two ends of the conductors along with the two terminals of the battery. Isn't it? Yes. So already we know the copper, inside the copper there will be tremendous amount of electrons, free electrons. Yes. Millions and millions of free electrons will be there inside the copper wire. Isn't it? Yes. So look at here, we apply 220 volt potential difference. 220 volt potential difference. Due to this potential difference, there will be some amount of current. The current flows from positive terminal to negative terminal. Isn't it? Yes. Look at here. Consider the copper wire. Here the two ends of the copper wire is connected along with the two terminals of the battery. So we apply 220 volt potential difference. Am I right? Yes. Due to this potential difference, there will be some amount of current. Is that clear? Yes. Look at here. Due to this potential difference, what will happen? The electrons will start move. Am I right? Due to this potential difference, electrons will start move because potential difference is a kind of pressure. This potential difference pushes the all electrons to move in a only particular direction. Is that clear? Yes. So when we apply the potential difference, the electron starts flowing, isn't it? So when the electron starts flowing from one atom to another atom, there will be collision. What is that? There will be collision. Yes. So here the electrons will continuously collide with other atoms as well as themselves. which means the electrons will collide with other atom electrons, other free electrons, isn't it? So due to this collision, note this point, due to this collision, there will be some amount of heat. What is that? There will be some amount of heat. So here, what causes heat? What causes heat here? This collision causes heat. Not only collision, here the heat causes potential difference and current and this resistance, because the collision is resistant. So there is some relationship between these all terms, which means voltage, current and this resistance, as well as the time taken, how long it is used, how long it is functioned. Is it clear? So this is the reason why heat energy is produced. Heat energy is produced. Is it clear, students? Very, very easy one. Here, when we apply the potential difference, the electrons will start to move. Am I right? Yes, because potential difference is a kind of pressure which pushes the all electrons to move in a particular direction, isn't it? So when we apply the potential difference, here the electrons will start to move. So when the electron starts to move from one atom to another atom, there will be collision. There will be collision. Am I right? Yes. So here the electrons will move other atom free electrons as well as other atom, which means other atom proton and neutron, isn't it? So this collision will happen continuously again and again. This collision will happen again and again continuously. Is it clear? Yes. Due to this collision, there will be some amount of heat. That's all. It's not very easy one. So due to this collision, heat energy also produces. Isn't it? Due to this collision, heat energy also produced. Is that clear? It's not very easy one. What is this collision, sir? This collision means nothing but that is resistance. That collision is resistance. If they know this point, if the resistance is more, which means the collision is more, there will be high amount of heat. If the collision is less, which means the resistance is less, there will be less amount of heat. Is that clear? It's a very easy one. So we can say here heat is directly proportional to resistance. Heat is directly proportional to resistance. If the resistance increases, which means collision increases, heat also correspondingly will increase. If the collision decreases, which means resistance decreases, correspondingly heat will decrease. That's all, students. So here what causes heat? The collision between the electrons. The collision between the electrons and between the other atoms causes heat energy. That's all, students. So very, very easy one. Very, very easy one. So that is the reason why most of the electrical appliances produces a heat energy. So while functioning, while running, that's all. Okay. Yes. Look at here. Here. Now this point, very important point here. What causes heat? What causes heat energy? Potential difference, current, and this resistance. Am I right? And this resistance as well as time factor, because how long it is used, that is also depend on this time also, the heat also depend on the time, how long it is used for. So there is some relationship between the voltage, current and the resistance. Is it clear? It's very, very easy, students. Okay, yes. So now we are going to see that relationship. Okay, so look at here. So already we know if the resistance is more than the heat produced by the electrical appliances will be more. If the resistance is less, heat will be less, isn't it? Yes. Here we have two wires, copper wire and nichrome wire. Which wire has more resistance? You tell me. Which wire has more resistance? Yes, of course, nichrome wire has more resistance. Copper wire has less resistance, isn't it? Look at here. Consider two wire. This is copper wire. What is this? This is copper and this is nichrome wire. That is nichrome wire. Which wire has more resistance? The nichrome wire has more resistance. Am I right? This is more resistance, whereas copper wire has less resistance. So already we know if resistance is more, then the heat will be more. Resistance is less and heat will be less, isn't it? So which wire will produce more amount of heat? Nichrome wire will produce more amount of heat compared than copper. Even the nichrome wire resistance is 60 times bigger than the copper. Look at here, the nichrome wire resistance is 60 times bigger than the copper wire, isn't it? So that is the reason why most of the electrical appliances, okay, heating electrical appliances, okay, for example, the electric iron, electric toaster, microwave oven, water heater, then room heater, most of the heating effect of electrical appliances having nichrome wire inside it. What wire? Nichrome wire inside it. Is it clear? Because nichrome has more resistance. Due to this more resistance, it will produce more amount of heat. So most of the heating effect of electrical appliances having nichrome wire inside it. That's all, students. Inside it, isn't it? Yes. Look at here. So look at here, come to this concept. So we have connected the water heater here. And we apply 220 volt potential difference. How much? 220 volt potential difference. Due to the potential difference, current is passes through this circuit, isn't it? So this water heater consumes the electrical energy and convert this electrical energy into heat energy. Is it clear? So this is called heating effect of electric current. So when look at here. So when the current is passed through the any electrical appliances having the high resistance, it will produce heat energy. This is called heating effect of electric current. Is it clear? So when current is passed through any electrical appliances having the high resistance wire, then the high resistance wire becomes hot and produces heat energy. That is called heating effect of electric current. Is it clear? Yes. The most of the electrical appliances functioning because of produces heat only because of electric current. For example, the electric iron, then the electric kettle, then the toaster, microwave oven, then after that the water heater, room heater. The most of the heating effect of electrical appliances produces heat because of this current. So that is called heating effect of electric current. That is called, what is that? Heating effect of electric current. Very easy, students. Okay, yes, look at here. Here these electrical appliances, which means the water heater converts this electrical energy into heat energy. Am I right? Electrical energy into heat energy. So what causes heat here? Here heat causes this potential difference, which means what is that? Voltage applied by the battery and this current, and what is that? Yes, time factor. And time factor as well as resistance. Already we know, just now we have seen resistance, because if the resistance is more, then the heat will be more. Resistance is less and heat will be less. Is that clear, students? So there is some relationship between the voltage, current, time factor and the resistance of the wire. Okay, so now we are going to prove that relationship. Okay, now we are going to make a formula with the help of this all quantities relationship. Is it clear, students? So very easy one. Okay, you don't get confusion. Okay, yes, I'll make the formula there. Look at here. Here water heater converts this electrical energy into heat energy. So whenever one form of energy gets converted into other form of energy, work is done. Am I right or wrong? work is done. So already we know what is work done. The rate at which electrical energy is consumed, that is called work done. Already we know very well. Is that clear, students? Yes. Okay, which means per second how much amount of electrical energy which is consumed by an electrical appliances, that is called what? Work done, isn't it? So here work is done because here the water heater consumes the electrical energy and converts this electrical energy into heat energy. So work is done. Am I right or wrong? Here work is done. So what is the formula to calculate work done? You tell me. What is the formula to calculate the work done in terms of voltage and current? Now this point, very important point. What is the formula to calculate the work done in terms of voltage and current? Yes, very good. That is potential difference. Yes, very important formula. Potential difference which is equal to work done divided by time. Charge. Work done divided by charge. Okay, here look at here. This is a work done formula in terms of voltage and this current. So potential difference which is equal to work done divided by charge. Amount of charge is moved, isn't it? Yes. So potential difference unit symbol is V and work done W and charge Q. So we can write, look at here, V which is equal to W by Q. V which is equal to W by Q, isn't it? So what is W, sir? W which means that is work done. Here work is done because the water heater consumes electrical energy and converts the electrical energy to heat energy. So work is done. So we need only work done. Only work done. So when this term comes this side, what will happen? We need work done only. So when this term goes this side, what will happen? This division changes into multiplication. So we can get W which is equal to V into Q. W which is equal to V into Q. This is work done formula. Okay, consider this is equation 1. Consider that is equation 1. Is it clear, students? It's very easy. So look at here, work done which is equal to the product of voltage into charge. How much amount of charge is moved. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. So what is V, sir? Here what is V? V which means voltage. V which means voltage. So according Ohm's law, V equal to IR. Am I right? Yes. According Ohm's law, that is Ohm's law. According Ohm's law, so V equal to IR. Consider this is equation 2. That is equation 2, isn't it? Yes. So V is there. Then what is Q, sir? What is Q? Already we know. Q means the amount of charge is moved. Amount of charge is moved per second. That is called current. Already we know. That is called current, isn't it? Yes. So look at here. Now take current I which is equal to Q by T. Current I which is equal to Q by T. So we need this Q value. So when this term comes, this will happen. This division changes into multiplication. So we can get Q which is equal to I into T. I into T. So consider this is third equation. Consider that is third equation. Okay. Yes, remaining I'll write here. Listen. Yes. So look at here. Here work is done because here a water heater consumes the electrical energy and converts this electrical energy into heat energy. So whenever one form of energy gets converted into another form of energy, work is done. I mean, work is done. Already we know very well, isn't it? Yes. So what is the formula to calculate the work done, sir? In terms of voltage and current, because here what causes heat? What causes heat? Potential difference and current causes heat. That is the reason why we need to take that formula. That is the reason why we need to take that formula. Here we should not take that formula for electric power which is equal to work done divided by time. That formula we should not take here. Isn't it? Yeah, so potential difference which is equal to work done divided by time. So we can get V that is equal to W by Q. So we need this work done only. So W which is equal to V into Q. Isn't it? So V which means potential difference. Isn't it? So according to Ohm's law, V equal to IR, consider that is equation 2. Then Q. In current formula, I equal to Q by T. So Q which is equal to I into T. Isn't it? Yes. Here, substitute this equation 2 and equation 3 in equation 1. Look at here. Substitute equation 2, 3 in equation 1. in equation 1. Which is equation 1, sir? This is equation 1. So W which is equal to, which means work done which is equal to V value how much? Yes, IR. So mention I into R into Q value I into T. Q value I into T. So what will be the value, sir? So I is here and R is here, T is here. So I into I, yes, that is I square into R into T. So that is heat formula. Okay, that is how much amount of heat which is produced by an electrical appliances when it is used for particular time. That formula. So work done that is equal to I square RT. What is that? Work done that is equal to I square RT, isn't it? Look at here. Here work is done. Here work is done because here the water heater converts the electrical energy into heat energy. So here work is done. I mean work is done. Actually, so what work is done? What work is done? Yes, heat energy is done. Heating work is done. I mean heating work is done. So already we know whenever work is done, equal amount of energy is consumed. Here what energy is consumed? Electrical energy is consumed. But what energy is produces? Heat energy is produces. So here work done which is equal to heat energy. Now this point here, work done which is equal to heat energy. Work done which is equal to heat energy produced by the electrical appliances. Heat energy symbol is H, capital H. Heat energy produced by an electrical appliance symbol is capital H. So we can write the H instead of W. So the formula will be H which is equal to I square RT. So this is the formula to calculate the heat energy produced by an electrical appliances. That's all, students. Very easy, students. That is the formula. That is the formula to calculate the heat energy, how much amount of heat energy produced by an electrical appliances when it is used for some time. When it is used for some time. Is it clear? Yes. So look at here. There is some relationship between the current, resistance and this time, which means how long the electrical appliance is used. So if we multiply this all value, we can get the how much amount of electrical energy, which means heat energy. Here heat energy produced by an electrical appliances. That's all, students. Very, very easy, students. Very easy. Okay, look at here. Here, consider the electric circuit. Here water heater, we have connected the water heater, isn't it? So we apply 220 volt potential difference. So due to this potential difference, for example, a 10 ampere current flows through this circuit, isn't it? Yes. Already we know this water heater also made up of nichrome wire. I mean, the water heater, inside the water heater there is nichrome wire. So nichrome has more amount of resistance. Nichrome has more amount of resistance, isn't it? Yes. So this water heater is used for 10 minutes. Time how much? 10 minutes. Isn't it? Yes. Here we can calculate how much amount of heat energy produced by this water heater. We can calculate that. We can calculate that easily, isn't it? Yes. So this is how we need to calculate the heat energy produced by an electrical appliances. Is it clear, students? With the help of this formula, heat energy which is equal to the square of current and the resistance and time. So if you know these all values, we can calculate the heat energy produced by an electrical energy, students. That's all very easy one. Okay, yes. Here the water heater which is used to convert this electrical energy into heat energy. Am I right? Yes. So what causes this heat energy? Here the heat energy causes voltage, current, resistance of the water heater, then the how long it is used. So if you know this point, so if we know these all values, we can calculate the heat energy produced by the appliances. Okay, yes. Here what causes current? The potential difference causes current. So sometimes we may leave that. If you know this I value, R value and time value, we can calculate the heat energy produced by an electrical appliances. That's all. So that formula is a very, very important formula. With the help of that formula, we can calculate the we can calculate the heat energy produced by an electrical appliances. Isn't it clear? Yes. So H, which is equal to I square RT. H, which is equal to I square RT, that is a formula to calculate the heat energy produced by an electrical appliances. Yes. So next question rising here, sir, who found this formula, sir? Who found this formula, sir? This formula, which means this relationship, is found by James Prescott Joule. Okay, who's that, sir? James Prescott Joule. Okay, I'll rub the here. Here, the heat energy produced by any electrical appliances, that formula is found by the James Prescott Joule. That scientist name is James Prescott Joule. What is that? Joule. Okay, to honor of him, note this point, to honor of him, that law is called Joule's law of heating. What is that? Joule's law of heating, or otherwise we can say law of what is that? Law of Joule of heating. So we can say that Joule's law of heating, or otherwise we can say laws of Joule's heating, or otherwise we can say Joule's effect of heating. Okay, you will study in higher class. Okay, look at here. Here, the relationship between the current, resistance and time, which is found by James Prescott Joule. Okay, actually he was a scientist. To honor of him, that law is called, what is that? Joule's law of heating. What is that? Joule's law of heating. Is that clear, students? Very, very easy, students. So what is Joule's law, sir? What is Joule's law? That is Joule's law. H, which is equal to I square RT. That is Joule's law. That is Joule's law. So what is that law, sir? Okay, that is equation. Okay, sir. That formula is okay, sir. So what is, note this point, what is that law, sir? That is very big question. Okay, look at here. So when the I current, note this point, very important one. So when the I current passed through the conductor having the resistance R for time t, there will be heat development. There will be heat development. That the heat energy, which is equal to square of the current and resistance and the time t. Okay, I think you get confusion. Right? Look at here. I'll repeat again. I'm going to explain the what is the Joule's law of heating. What is Joule's law of heating, isn't it? So when current I passed through a conductor of resistance R for time t, heat energy developed. Heat energy developed. That heat energy, which is equal to the product of square of current and resistance and the time. That's all, students. That is called Joule's law of heating. So very, very, very easy one, isn't it? Yes. Sir, explain again, sir. You may ask me to explain again, sir. I'll explain clearly. You look at here. I'll explain again. Listen here. Consider electric circuit. We have converted the iron box, which means electric iron plus minus. We apply 220 volt potential difference. Due to this potential difference, 10 ampere current flows through the circuit. How much? 10 ampere current flows through the circuit, isn't it? Yes. Look at here. Here the electric iron. This electric iron is made up of conductor. Inside the electric iron there will be conducting material, isn't it? So that conducting material resistance values, now consider 10 ohm. That conducting material resistance value is 10 ohm. 10 ohm, isn't it? Yes. Here the electric iron is used for 1 hour. 1 hour you can take seconds, 60 seconds. In 60 seconds. Okay, consider the electric circuit. We apply 220 volt potential difference. Due to this potential difference, 10 ampere current flows through the circuit, isn't it? Yes. So already we know we have connected the electric iron. Inside the electric iron there is conducting material. That conducting material resistance value is 10 ohm. Then the electric iron is used for 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Now you find out how much amount of heat which is produced by the electric iron. You tell me how much amount of heat energy. How much amount of heat energy which is produced by this electric iron? You tell me. What formula? Yes, we can choose H which is equal to I square RT. What is I value, sir? I value 10 ampere. So 10 square, 10 into 10, yes, 100 into an R value, yes, 10 ohm into T, time value 60. So what will be the value, sir? Here 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros will be there after 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros will be there. So joule. So heat energy how much here? Here heat energy how much? Here how much? 60,000 joules amount of heat energy which is produced by this electric iron. So when, note this point, so when 10 ampere current flows through the conductor having the resistance of 10 ohm for 60 seconds, how much amount of electric energy is, which means heat energy, 60,000 joules amount of heat energy is produced by this electric iron. That is called Joule's law of heating. Students. That's all very easy, students. Very easy, students. Okay, so look at here. So what is Joule's law of heating, sir? When current I passes through the conductor having the resistance for time, which means for a particular time, there will be heat energy, there will be heat development. That heat, note this point, that heat which is equal to the product of square of current, resistance and the time. So this formula is Joule's law of heating. That formula is, what is that? Joule's law of heating. So very easy, students. Is it clear? So very easy. You don't get confusion. Is it clear? Yes. So this is called Joule's law of heating. H that is equal to I square RT. What is that? H that is equal to I square RT. This is called Joule's law of heating. So what is it meaning, sir? Which means when the current flowing through the conductor of resistance R and for time t, heat will be developed. That heat which is equal to the product of square of the current and resistance and the time for which it is used. That's all, students. This is called Joule's law of heating. So never ever forget this formula. H that is equal to I square RT, which means look at here. First one, H is directly proportional to I square, and second one, H that is directly proportional to resistance, and third one, H that is directly proportional to time. Okay, look at here, which means heat produced by an electrical appliance that is equal to square of the current by keeping the resistance and T constant. By keeping the resistance and T constant, and second one, heat that is directly proportional to resistance by keeping the I square and T constant. I square and T constant, isn't it? Yes. And third one, H that is directly proportional to T, which means time, by keeping the resistance and I square constant. That's all, students. You just keep that in your mind. That is H that is equal to I square RT. H that is directly proportional to I square and directly proportional to R and directly proportional to T. In first one, by keeping the R and T constant, and second one, I square and T constant, and third one, R and I squared constant. That's also a very easy one. So this is called Joule's law of heating. That's all. Okay, yes. So with help of this formula we are going to make lots of numericals after some time, isn't it? Yes. So before starting the numericals, we will see the application of Joule's law of heating, or otherwise we can say the application of heating effect of electric current. Is that clear? Yes. So next one, the application. Application of the heating effect of current or electric current. What is that? Application of heating effect of electric current, isn't it? Yes. So just now we have discussed about the heating effect of electric current. Am I right? Yes. So with help of that concept, we are going to see some applications. What are the application we are doing in everyday life? Okay, isn't it? Yes. Look at here. At home, we use lots of heating appliances. Heating appliances such as electric iron, toaster, microwave oven, then water heater, room heater, and so many things, isn't it? These all electrical appliances, electrical heating appliances functioning because of only the Joule's law of heating. Joule's law of heating. So all the heating appliances obeys Joule's law of heating, isn't it? Joule's law of heating. Okay. So what is that application, sir? First one application. What is first one application? The heating effect of electric current utilized in some electric heating appliances, electric heating materials such as electric iron, a toaster, microwave oven, water heater, room heater, and so many things. Okay, the first one, heating effect of electric current utilized in electric heating appliances. This is first one. Okay, look at here. The first application of heating effect of electric current is the heating effect of electric current is utilized in electric heating appliances. Electric heating appliances such as, what are the appliances? Electric iron, generally we say iron box. Electric iron, then toaster, electric toaster. Okay, yes, a third one, water heater, electric water heater, and fourth one, electric room heater. So microwave oven, and so many things. Okay, look at here. In everyday life, so we utilize the heating effect of electric current in different ways. Okay, by some electrical appliances, they are electric iron, toasters, water heater, room heater, microwave oven, and so many electrical appliances will be there, isn't it? Yes. These all electrical appliances converts the electrical energy into current energy in maximum amount, in more amount, isn't it? So we utilize the heat produced by these all appliances in different ways. For example, this electric iron produces heat energy. That heat energy is used to make ironing, isn't it? Yes. And second one, toaster which is used to make a roti and so many things. And water heater which is used to make a hot water. And room heater keeps the room very hot, isn't it, during winter time. Then microwave oven which is used to keep the food materials hot, which means warm. That's all, isn't it? Yes. So now we are going to see, sir, why such type of electrical appliance is producing heat? Actually, what's happening there? What is inside it? That is very big question, isn't it? Yes. Look at here. These all are electrical appliances which produces heat. We require that heat for lots of purposes, various purposes, isn't it? Yes. For example, I am going to consider the electric iron. What is that? Electric iron. Consider. Consider this iron box. Okay, that iron box sole plate. There will be a flat plate. Am I right? That is sole plate. Consider you that is. Consider this is iron, electric iron. Electric iron, isn't it? Yes. Inside the electric iron, there will be what is that? There will be conducting coil. There will be what is that? Conducting coil. Conducting coil. That is also one of the conductor. But that conductor has more and more resistance value. So what is that conductor, sir? You may ask me, what is that conductor, sir? That conductor is, what is that? Nichrome. Yes, very good. That is nichrome wire, nichrome coil. So already we know nichrome has more resistance. If the resistance is more, it will be produce more amount of heat. Am I right? Yes. Here we need heat for ironing. That is the reason why we need electric iron. Inside the electric iron there is nichrome wire. Nichrome wire has more resistance, due to which it will produce more amount of heat. Is that clear, students? Yes. Look at here. This is iron box. Inside the iron box there is a conducting coil. That conducting coil is made up of nichrome wire. Nichrome wire has more and more resistance value. Isn't it? Yes. Look at here. So we connect this. Look at here. We connect this iron box in plug, which means socket, electric socket. Okay, yes. Look at here. This electric socket. This is electric socket. Do you know what is electric socket? That is switchboard. Okay, electric socket. Okay, students. Yes. Look at here. Here this electric iron gets heated up because of current. Am I right? Because the electric iron consumes the electrical energy and convert this electrical energy into heat energy, because inside the iron box there is nichrome coil. Nichrome has high amount of resistance value, due to which it produces more and more amount of heat energy. Is that clear? Yes. See, nichrome has high amount of resistance value. Here resistance will be more. Nichrome resistance more. Is it clear? Yes. See, the nichrome consumes the electrical energy and converts this electrical energy heat energy. So note these points, most of the electric ions, nichrome gets red hot at 90 degrees Celsius temperature. Temperature how much? 900 degrees Celsius. The nichrome gets red hot. Do you know what is red hot? That the nichrome wire becomes very hot. At 900 degrees Celsius, the nichrome wire gets red hot, which means it produces a maximum amount of heat. Is that clear? Maximum amount of heat, isn't it? So due to this heat, so we can make ironing. Actually, the temperature is not like that. Inside the nichrome coil, it will be 900 degrees Celsius. It becomes red hot. Okay, but we can get only some amount of heat only, because if you make the ironing by 900 degrees Celsius, the cloth becomes spoil, isn't it? Yes. Inside the nichrome wire, the temperature will be there, but the sole plate controls the temperature level, so it allows only particular amount of temperature. Okay, so with the help of the temperature we can make ironing, isn't it? Yes. Look at here. So this is how electric iron functioning there. Electric iron produces heat energy. Okay, look at here. Electric iron contains, what is that? Nichrome coil inside it. Already we know nichrome has high resistance, isn't it? Nichrome has high resistance. If the resistance is more, then heat produced by electric elements will be more. Already we know, because H is directly proportional to R. If the resistance more, then H will be more. If the resistance is less, then heat will be less. So here nichrome has more and more resistance, due to which it produces more and more amount of heat energy. So we can use that heat for various purposes. Not only this is for electric iron, that is for toaster, water heater, room heater and microwave. The water heater also functions because of that. So inside the water heater there is nichrome coil. Inside the water heater there is nichrome coil. Inside the toaster also there is nichrome coil. And water heater, inside the water heater also, room heater, there is also nichrome coil. Isn't it? Because nichrome has more amount of resistance. That's also, this is one of the application. Isn't it? Yes. So second one, what is it, sir? This is one, okay, sir. Second one, what is it, sir? Second one, that is the heating effect of electric current that is utilized for producing light by electric bulb. Okay, a second one, the heating effect of electric current utilized in electric bulb for producing light. So this is what one? Second one. Okay, students? Yes. This is second one. Second application of the heating effect of electric current is the heating effect of electric current utilized in electric bulb for producing light. Look at here. When you switch on the bulb, what will happen? The bulb will start to glow. Isn't it? It says, why, sir? Why the bulb starts glowing? Actually, what's happening there? Look at here. I'll draw this diagram, electric bulb. Consider this is bulb. Okay? Yes. Have you ever seen, so inside the bulb there will be filament like structure, it will be there? Yes. From that filament we can get light energy. Is it clear? Yes. Now we are going to see how this electric current, which means electric energy, is converted into light energy. Is it clear, students? Yes, look at here. So this is the structure of electric bulb. Inside the bulb there is a filament like structure. This is filament. That filament is made up of tungsten. What is that? Yes, that is tungsten material, isn't it? Look at here. Tungsten has high resistance value. What is that? High resistance value, as well as it has high melting point. Tungsten has high melting point. So how much, sir? 3380 degrees Celsius. Look at here. Tungsten, the melting point is 3380 degree Celsius temperature. It's a very, very, very tremendous one. Okay, look at here. Okay, so second one, what is it, sir? Second, we are going to see the second application of the electric current utilized in electric bulb for producing light. Isn't it? Yes. So inside the bulb there is a filament like structure. That filament is made up of tungsten. The tungsten has high resistance. No, this point, the tungsten has high resistance. The tungsten filament melting point is very, very high. That is 3380 degrees Celsius. Isn't it? Yes, look at here. So already we know heat produced by an electrical appliance that is directly proportional to resistance. If the resistance increases, heat will be increased. If the resistance decreases, heat will be decreased. Am I right? Here, the tungsten filament has high resistance value. What is that? High resistance value. So it will produce what? It will produce high amount of heat energy. It will produce high amount of heat energy, isn't it? Look at here. So when we allow the electric current to pass through this electric bulb, what will happen? This electric bulb consumes the electrical energy, and then this tungsten filament becomes very, very, what is that? White hot. White hot. Okay, which means white hot means nothing but that becomes more high temperature. That becomes high temperature, high temperature. Is it clear? That is called white hot, isn't it? So when we allow the electric current to pass through the electric bulb, the filament which is present in the electric bulb consumes the electrical energy and produces heat. What is that? And produces heat energy, isn't it? Yes. So look at here. At the temperature of 2500 degrees Celsius, the tungsten filament starts glowing, which means the tungsten filament emit their light. So we can get the light energy from the electric bulb. At what temperature? At 2500 degrees Celsius. But the tungsten filament melting point is 3380. But at the temperature of 2500 degrees Celsius, here the tungsten filament starts emit their light. We can get the light in the form of energy. That's all, students. This is also one of the application. Okay, here what is the concept, sir? What is the concept? Second one, what is it? Heating effect of electric current utilized in the electric bulb for producing light, isn't it? So this is a bulb structure. Inside the bulb there is a filament like structure. That filament is made up of tungsten. Tungsten has more and more amount of resistance value. Already we know if the resistance increases, heat will increase. Am I right? So it has more and more resistance, high amount of resistance. As well as the tungsten has high melting point. It never melt easily, isn't it? That melting point is 3380 degrees Celsius, isn't it? So when we allow the electric current to pass through the electric bulb, the tungsten filament consumes the electrical energy and converts the electrical energy into heat energy. So at the temperature of 2500 degrees Celsius, the tungsten filament emit their own light, emit their generally light energy. So here the electrical energy converts into light energy. So we are utilizing the light energy mostly at night time. Am I right, students? Yes, very easy, students. Okay, yes. You may ask me, sir, why, sir, so many different kinds of conductors are there? Then why we choose tungsten, sir? First one reason is tungsten has high melting point. That is very important reason. And second reason is tungsten, that is it is flexibility material. We can easily flexible that. Okay, here have you ever seen that the filament inside the bulb? That will be flexible type. So tungsten filament only we can easily change that into flexible material. We cannot change the copper into flexible material, aluminum into flexible material, silver into flexible material. That is the reason why most of the electrical bulb contain tungsten filament inside it. Is it clear, students? It's very easy. Next you may ask me, sir, this tungsten filament produces heat, sir, heat energy. So if there is a heat inside it, if there is air inside it, the heat react with air and it will burst out, sir. Then how the bulb continuously glowing, sir? You may ask me like that. That is common question. But inside, note this point, inside the bulb there will be non-reactive gases. Okay, which mean that is inert gases. There will be inert gas. There will be inert gases. The inert gases such as argon or nitrogen. Nowadays nitrogen also used. Nitrogen also filled inside the electric bulb, isn't it? So inside the electric bulb there will be inert gases such as argon, xenon, krypton and so many things. Nowadays nitrogen also used to fill inside the electric bulb. Suppose, note this point, suppose if there is oxygen, note this point, if there is oxygen inside the electric bulb, what will happen? Here the oxygens react with the heat produced by the tungsten filament, the bulb becomes burst out. The bulb becomes burst out. That is the reason why inside the electric bulb, inert gases will be filled. Inert gases will be filled. That's all, students. Okay. So this is also one of the application of heating effect of electric current. Is it clear? Yes. So this is second one. And third one, what is it, sir? Third one, electric fuse. Electric fuse. This is the last one. So this is the last one. And third application of heating effect of electric current, that is electric fuse. Electric fuse. Have you ever heard like that word fuse? Somebody will say a fuse poidichra, fuse poidichra, the bulb fuse poidichra. Fuse. Electric fuse. Okay. So third application of the heating effect of electric current is electric fuse. Electric fuse. See, electric fuse is one of the material which protect, note this point, which protects the electrical appliances against from the maximum amount of current. Against from the maximum amount of current. Okay, look at here, I'll draw the diagram, the electric fuse diagram. Two sides will be coating like that. Inside there will be very thin wire, thin conductor. Okay, this is glass. That is glass. This is thin metal, or otherwise we can say conductor. Okay, yes. So this is the fuse structure. This is fuse structure. You might have here that was a 1 ampere fuse, a 2 ampere fuse, and 3 ampere fuse, 4 ampere fuse, and 5 ampere fuse, and so on. And so on, you might have here like that. So what is it meaning, sir? Fuse is one of the device which protects the electrical appliances from maximum amount of current. From maximum amount of current. Okay, so nowadays most of the electrical appliances contain the fuse. Okay, yes. Now we are going to see how it is working, sir. How the fuse is working. That we are going to see that we are going to discuss. Okay, yes. Consider an electric circuit. Look at here, we connected TV. Yes, TV is here. We connected TV. Okay, students, yes, listen here. We apply 220 volt potential difference. How much? We apply 220 volt potential difference. Look at here. This TV requires just 2 ampere current. How much? The TV requires just 2 ampere current. Okay, yes, look at here. We apply 220 volt potential difference. This TV requires just 2 ampere current. Just 2 ampere current, isn't it? Yes. Suppose if the current goes 10 ampere through this TV, what will happen? The TV becomes burst out. To protect, note this point, to protect the electrical appliances against from the maximum amount of current, electric fuse is used. What is that? Electric fuse is used here. Okay, nowadays most of the electrical devices contain electric fuse, isn't it? So this is the electric fuse structure. Inside the electric fuse there is a metal. So nowadays a tin and copper also used. This wire, nowadays the wire is made up of tin and copper. That is a tin. This wire, inside there is wire already we know. This wire has low melting point, but high resistance value. but high resistance. Note this point. This is the electric fuse structure. Inside the electric fuse there is a very thin wire. Nowadays the thin wire is made up of tin and copper. Here this thin wire, the thin wire has a low melting point as well as high resistance value. Am I right? What is it? High resistance value. Look at here. Here the TV requires just 2 ampere current. Okay, just 2 ampere current. Look at here. Here we apply, we put a fuse. This is for an example. Actually fuse never be in outside of the circuit. That will be inside the appliances. For example, I am going to draw like this. Okay, consider this is a fuse. Consider this is fuse. Here we connected the fuse, isn't it? Yes, look at here. Look at here. We connected the fuse here. The TV requires 2 ampere current. The TV requires 2 ampere current. We apply 220 volt. So 2 ampere current is flows through the circuit. So the TV will start running. Am I right? Yes. Due to some reason, due to it may be a climate condition, so whatever it is, due to some condition, here in the circuit, high amount of current is flowing. High amount of, okay, from 2 ampere, the current is changed into 10 ampere. High ampere current is flowing here, but the TV requires 2 ampere current. Now what will be there, sir? Now what happens, sir? What happens? Look at here. Here the current should flow through this fuse. Am I right? Through this fuse. So already we know inside the fuse there is a metal. That metal has a low melting point and high resistance, isn't it? So that metal has high resistance. So this metal present inside the fuse consumes the electrical energy and produce more and more amount of heat. Produce more amount of heat. Already we know it has low melting point. So due to high temperature, what will happen? The fuse wire becomes break. Note this point. At high temperature, due to high temperature, the fuse wire becomes break. So this fuse breaks the entire circuit, due to which here the TV do not consume the current. Do not consume the maximum current. Note this point, that maximum current because the TV requires just 2 ampere current. If you allow the maximum amount of current, what will happen? The fuse consumes the current, that for 10 ampere current, and it produces more and more amount of heat. Due to that high amount of heat, the thin wire present in the fuse becomes break. So this entire circuit becomes break. So this TV do not consume the high amount of current. Okay, so here the fuse protects the electrical appliances against from high amount of current. That's all. High amount of current. So this is also one of the application of heating effect of electric current, students. Very easy one. Is there any doubt? No doubt. Shall I explain Tamil? This one. Alla gavanichuko. Fuse என்ன சார்? ஃபியூஸ் ஒரு சின்ன மெட்டீரியல். இந்த சாப்பி சைஸ் தான் இருக்கும். இந்த சாப்பி சைஸாக இருக்கும், ஒரு சின்ன மெட்டீரியல். அந்த மெட்டீரியலுக்குள்ளே பார்த்தா அப்படின்னா ஒரு தின் ஒயர் இருக்கும். அந்த தின் ஒயர் என்ன அப்படின்னா ஒரு கண்டக்டர். அது எந்த ஒரு டின் நவடேஸ் என்ன பண்ணிடுறாங்க, டின்னும் காப்பரையும் சேர்த்து என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, அதை ரெடி பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஓகேவா? எஸ். ஸோ அந்த கண்டக்டருக்கு மெல்ட்டிங் பாயிண்ட் ரொம்ப லோவாக இருக்கும், as well as ரெசிஸ்டன்ஸ் அதிகமாக இருக்கும். ஓகேவா? எஸ். இப்போ நம்ம வீட்டுக்குலாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சில டைம் கரண்ட் அதிகமாக வரும், கம்மியாக வரும். இப்போ சம்மர் டைமில் வந்து கரண்ட் வந்து கம்மியாக தான் வரும். ஏன்னா எல்லா வீட்லேயுமே நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம், டிவி, ஃப்ரிட்ஜு, ஏசின்னு ஓடிட்டே இருக்கும், அதனால் கரண்ட் கம்மியாக வரும். அதே இந்த வின்டர் டைமில் என்ன பண்ணுவோம், சரௌண்டிங்ஸ் கூலாக இருக்கும். ஸோ அப்போ என்ன பண்ணுவோம், நம்ம ஃபேன் போட மாட்டோம், ஏசிலாம் போடவே மாட்டோம். அப்போ கரண்ட் என்ன பண்ணுவோம், சம்டைம்ஸ் அதிகமாக வர சான்ஸ் இருக்குது, சம்டைம்ஸ் என்ன பண்ணால் அதிகமாக வர சார்ஜ் இருக்குது. ஓகேவா? எஸ். ஸோ நம்ம டிவி பார்த்துருக்கோம், அந்த டிவிக்கு வந்து ஒரு 2 ஆம்பியர் கரண்ட் இருந்தால் போதும். ஸோ 2 ஆம்பியர் வரக்கூடிய இடத்துல 5 ஆம்பியர் கரண்ட் சப்போஸ் திடீர்னு வந்துச்சு என்ன ஆகும், டிவி வெடிச்சிடும். டிவி என்ன பண்ணும், வெடிச்சிடும். ஓகேவா? ஸோ அந்த டிவிக்குள்ளே என்ன பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க, ஃபியூஸ் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு டிவைஸை வச்சுருப்பாங்க. ஃபியூஸ் அப்படிங்கிற டிவைஸை வச்சுருப்பாங்க. ஓகேவா? இந்த ஃபியூஸை தாண்டி தான் கரண்ட் டிவிக்குள்ளேயே போகும். எல்லாம் கவனிச்சுக்கோ, இந்த ஃபியூஸை தாண்டி தான் கரண்ட் டிவிக்குள்ளேயே போகும். ஓகேவா? ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஹை அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் கரண்ட் உள்ளே வரும்போது இந்த ஃபியூஸ் என்ன பண்ணும், அந்த ஃபியூஸுக்கு ஆல்ரெடி நம்மளால் தெரியும் லோ மெல்ட்டிங் பாயிண்ட் தான் இருக்குது, ஆனால் ஹை ரெசிஸ்டன்ஸ் இருக்குது. ஸோ ரெசிஸ்டன்ஸ் அதிகமாக தான் என்ன பண்ணும், கரண்ட் அதிகம் ஹீட் அதிகமாக ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணுமா. ஸோ என்ன பண்ணும், இந்த ஃபியூஸில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒயர் என்ன பண்ணும், ஹீட் அதிகமாக ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணும். ஹீட் அதிகமாக ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ண என்ன ஆகும், அதுக்கு ஆல்ரெடி லோ மெல்ட்டிங் பாயிண்ட் இருக்குது. அப்போ என்ன ஆகும், ஈஸியாக மெல்ட் ஆயிரும். அப்போ என்ன ஆகும், இந்த ஃபியூஸ் ஒயரு கட் ஆயிரும். ஸோ இந்த ஃபியூஸ் ஒயர் கட் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா கரண்ட்டு இங்கேயே பிரேக் ஆயிரும். கரண்ட் என்ன பண்ணும், பாசிட்டிவ்லேருந்து நெகட்டிவ் போனால் தான் கரண்ட் வந்து போகுதுன்னு அர்த்தம். இங்கே பாசிட்டிவ் போகும்போது என்ன பண்ணும், கட் ஆயிடுச்சு. ஸோ கட் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா என்ன ஆகும், டிவிக்கு கரண்ட் போகாது. அப்போ டிவி எப்படி இருக்கும், ப்ரொடெக்டடாக இருக்கும். ஆமாவா? தட்ஸ் ஆல். இதுதான் ஒன் ஆஃப் த அப்ளிகேஷன். Is another one of the application. That's all, students. Very easy, students. Is it clear? Yes. So that's all about the application of heating effect of current. How many applications we have seen? How many applications we have seen? 3 applications. Am I right? First one, the heating effect of electric current is utilized in which one? Utilized in, yes, the electric heating appliances such as electric iron, toaster, microwave oven. Then after that, room heater, water heater, so many things. Isn't it? Yes. So now we are going to see some numericals. Okay. Numericals we will see. Look at here, students. First numerical. The potential difference to 250 volt is applied. 250 volt is applied across a resistance of 500 ohm in an electric iron, which means iron box. Okay, calculate the current. And second one, heat energy. Second one, heat energy produced in joules in 10 seconds. Time how much? 10 seconds, students. That's all, students. Listen here. This is how the questions will become. Okay, look at here. The question is the potential difference of 250 volt is applied across the resistance of 500 ohm in an electric iron. Calculate the current and heat energy produced in joules in 10 seconds. Okay, first of all you write what are the values are given. V value 250, then R value 500 ohm, and then what is that? Yes, the time value, that is equal to 10 seconds. First we need to calculate what value already we know. What value? Yes, that is current value. First we need to calculate current, isn't it? Yes. What is the current formula, sir, to find out? What is the formula to find out the current? According to Ohm's law, V equal to IR. Yes. According to Ohm's law, V equal to R. So I, which is equal to V by R. I is equal to V by R. What is the V value, sir? 250. 250 divided by R value 500. So what will be the value? This is equal to 1 by 2. Am I right? Yes, remaining right here. So I, which is equal to 1 by 2. So which means I, which is equal to 0.5 ampere. How much amount of current is flowing through it? 0.5 ampere current is flowing through it. Isn't it? Yes. What is the second one, sir? Second one, the heat produced in joules in 10 seconds times 10 seconds. So second one, heat energy. We need to find out heat energy. So what is the formula? H, that is equal to I square RT. According to Joule's law of heating, heat produced by an electrical appliance is equal to product of square of current, resistance and T. Isn't it? Yes. So what is the I value, sir? I value how much? Yes, 0.5. Isn't it? So 0.5 ampere. So no need no need to mention here. We can mention at last. 0.5 whole square into resistance value 500 into T 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Isn't it? Yes. Now we find out, sir. Now you find out the value. What will be the value, sir, here? 0.5 and 0.5 is equal to 5 into 5, 25. And put after 2 dots, so on the value will be 0.25 into 500 into 10, not 100. Okay, yes. Again you further multiple that. Look at here. So what will be the value, sir? What will be the value? So 25. 25 into 5 is equal to 5 into 5, 25, remaining to 10, 12. So which is equal to what is the value? 1, 2, 5. And how many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then you put dot after 2 digit. What will have here? So what will be the value, sir? 1250. The value is how much? 1250. So the heat energy produced by an electric iron is 1250 joule, because the SI unit of heat energy, what is that? That is joule. So that is the reason why there is a joule. Okay, that's all, students. So 1250 joules. Okay, wow. That's a very easy one. Very, very, very easy. So this is how you need to make numericals. Okay. Yes. So I hope this class will be very useful for you students. The chapter 12 electricity completed. Okay. From next class onwards we will start our next topic, the magnetic effects of electric current. Is it clear? Yes. So from next week onwards you have a test. You do that properly. Okay students. Thank you.